Hello guys and welcome to VollGazzRacing Season 10, round number 8 here at Kazakhstan at the Sokol International Racetrack. It is sprint qualifying here, so 5 minutes. So from Division 2 I've worked out you can get 2 laps in. Given the lap time, you might, if you can get out of the pits relatively quickly, you can just about maybe do 3 laps, but I'm guessing with the time it's taken for these guys to get out on circuit, I'm going to say they're only going to get 2 goes at it. Unless they corner cut, which could allow them to gain time. Who knows? So, VTR is taking a very So Platt, he has won 8 races so far, 7 Grand Prix plus 1 sprint. So we're all expecting to make that 10 by the end of today. Well, these guys corner cutting it. If they can cross the line with 3 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock, they could just about do it, but I don't think they're going to. They're doing the Mandalika tactic where you just exceed track limits everywhere just to try and gain that tiny bit of lap time. So getting that one extra lap, and then Platt could be close here. It's going to be really tight. I reckon it's going to be on the knife's edge if he can get another go. He's only more capable. Right, here we go. Lap number 1 for Platt. He can't afford to crash on any of his runs to get a chance of that final lap, but the banker lap is the most important. So through turn 2, and now turn 3, you want to use all these curbs, but you don't want to hit the white line side of the curb because then you'll lose the front. Into the hairpin of turn 4, Platt opts for the really tight line. Sits the bike up, plants the power on the Repsol Honda, hard braking into turn 5 up the hill. And now down towards turn number 6. And now he brakes hard for the chicane. Easy to crash on the change of direction, just like that. And Platt will get out of VTR's way, I'd imagine. Not even allowing him to have a potential slipstream there. But he's going to get in right behind him, just to pressurise him that little bit, to see if he can maybe distract him, if that's his plan. Probably not his plan, but that could be a plan of his. Try and get VTL to focus on him, not the actual lap. But VTL's done that hairpin decent enough. But he's on the curb, but I feel like you have to run the curb side, kind of, the way the trajectory is, and into the final corner, nice tight line. And he's going to gas it towards the line. So this will be pole position for VTR, but will he hold on to it? One more lap for these guys to go. A 32.4. I definitely think that can be improved on. Craig missed the top 3 now. Forget top 5, top 3s now. He's got to the Fracture Ducati squad, and he's getting consistent podiums now, but he will always be the top 5 as he always does. But he has cost himself the second go of qualifying now as he loses the front into turn 1. Red sectors for VTR and Platt. Platt with a really good marker in VTR, who is most likely to set pole position. Joe, fresh off 3rd place in the Rising Stars Challenge 1, has invalidated his lap time. I don't know where he is on track exactly. Hopefully he can get 1 lap under his belt. So Saya rounds the final corner and he will go onto the front row. Unless he's crashing this lap without me noticing. There he goes, into 3rd, 9 tenths off. And Jack Berman rounds the final corner 2 on the factory Ducati. Up to the line, will he jump onto the front row? No, he doesn't. 5.9 seconds off, so he has had a crash somewhere, so he has got this last lap. Looks like he's running a soft tyre as well. That's quite a risky strategy. And you got these back-to-back things. And he comes up to the line to go pole position, which is just by half a second. Joe is coming up to the third sector now, down the back straight. Going from a motor back to this bike will, well, it'll probably be a lot better on exits because it's got a lot less torque, but it has got a lot more horsepower. The bike weighs a lot less, and the brakes are a lot more powerful and efficient. So, and better handling. So, every other way, it's probably going to feel like a dream to ride this bike, but it's going to feel a bit weird. Oh, and a big stoppie into the hairpin. And in to the penultimate corner, and now into the final corner. I think as long as he's just kept staying on two wheels here, this will be 5th place at worst. Nelson has not even set a lap time. Up to the line goes Joe, and it's 5th. 3.8 seconds off. So in fact, you can tell he's been focusing on the motorway more than, which is fair enough. Platt takes pole, BTR 2nd, Craig 3rd, Sire 4th, Joe 5th, Nelson 6th, Nelson 7th, and Jack in 6th. No, I said that the wrong way around. Just waiting on Joe, Jack, and Sire before we can get going. Hola, Julito. So, of course, very bad circuit. It's very unique. Also, it's very unique and different. But I like it's got some flow, so I like it. But I don't think it's my. It's not the best new track on the calendar. But anyway, the lights are on. And we're off. And an absolutely lightning start for Sire. He has inherited Ike's start. And oh! Sire and Platt come together at the turn 1. Big collision there at the opening corner. And that now means that the VTR is out in the lead by miles. And Craig's gone down. Oh, I don't know if that could definitely be because Joe's lagging. But Joe, who's lagging, he is in 3rd place. I'm not sure. I don't know what's happened to Craig, unfortunately. Which I saw. But Sire making a big... well, sorry, it wasn't Sire's fault. It was just a... You know, 2 merging lines. Sire on the inside, Platt on the outside. And Joe is lagging like crazy. And Platt's about to go into the podium place. Platt is in the podium places already. Oh my... Yeah, Joe... Yeah. And Platt has got a long lap penalty. I think if Platt can lose the time back to Jack, I think that'd be fair enough to not take a long lap if he can hear me. I'm not sure if he can, but otherwise a long lap I think is kind of valid because he did just, even though he did get punted off, he has gained quite a lot of time from that. But the two Aprilias out in front. So Platt with the corner assisted corner cut, despite being taken out, is only 1.3 seconds behind. And I miss now on Sire and Jack here, going side by side for 4th place. Side by side between the two. and Jack, with the Ducati power, takes the position and holds in 4th place. So does Platt take the long lap? He does, so that will solve any kind of problems, and he's done it fine. So 2.8 seconds, 3.4 to the leader. See what Platt can do in 6 laps. There's Sire and Jack getting on the curb there. Into the chicane. This is probably the most dangerous corner, dangerous complex on the circuit. Very much like India's chicane. And Sire's got the better exit compared to Jack, and Nelson has taken the lead from his teammate VTR up the inside into turn 9, and the two-time champion Nelson versus the reigning champion VTR. But all this fighting is just going to let Platt close up to them. But VTR making a big mistake. I don't know whether he had a moment at the chicane or what, but he'd definitely be angry at himself because now Platt's only 2 seconds behind. But look at the exit difference between VTR. VTR's shot out of that last corner. He's going to pull to the left-hand side using the slipstream up the inside into turn 1, and he takes the lead of the race. He's going to run a tiny bit wide, and his teammate's going to retake the place. But VTR's going to cut underneath, round the outside for turn 2. That's not where you want to be, but he's going to cut back again. And is he going to try and cut underneath for turn 3, but then he's going to be on the wrong side again for turn 4. But can he get the undercut of the 2-beat contact? And VTR's going to, yeah, we go, undercut for turn 5 maybe. But I think Nelson just holds on, but all this fine has cost him 0.6 of a second, and Platt's 1.4 seconds behind the 2, and VTR loses the front, making contact with Nelson, but just about stays on the bike. He's having a ride battle here, as Nelson is quite good at defending. As VTR sends it up the inside into the chicane, and he's plopped past Nelson, and it's caused Nelson to just tap the rear of the Aprilia, and he's lost the front end. They had a chance there. They were fighting for the win as expected, and you can't blame them, but they really could have worked together there for when Platt inevitably comes towards them. They could have tried to work together to hold him off. So it's just VTR now only by himself. 1 second lead over Platt. I'm pretty sure that gap will probably be in Platt's favour by the next time round. 7 tenths now the gap. He's gained 3 tenths in one corner. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Nelson with the fastest lap though. So Nelson does have pace, but unfortunately, too little, too well. Sorry, it's not too little, too late, is it? Because he got blocked past and unfortunately just missed. Didn't expect VTR to be so slow on the exit. So so these bikes have ride-out devices now. VTR probably need a bike widening device to not let Platt through. It's just reset now. Platt has set the fastest lap of the race. Don't know why it took its time to do that. Gaining so much time through the chicane. I think he's just willing to not push that. He's willing to push that much more. And now he's in the slipstream of the Aprilia. Honda versus Aprilia. The Honda's going to win, especially when in the slipstream. Pulls to the right hand side. That was a bit of a scary moment on the brakes there for VTR, but Platt has got the moves done, and I think that might be all she wrote unless VTR attacks in the hairpin, which he's unable to do. He's probably got one more chance, which is this corner here, but unfortunately he's ran on the outside curb. He's lost the drive, lost the turn in, and that is probably all she wrote unless Platt crashes by himself in the next 3 laps. So 3 laps to go now. Into turn 1 goes Platt, the bike all over the place. And Jack Berman is closing in on Siren, so is Craig. So who's going to get 4th place out of these 3? The top three I'd consider to be pretty much settled. As critics go underneath Jack Berman into turn 3, riding the rim of the curb. But Jack Berman's got the inside line for turn 4. I've no idea who that is, who's just joined the lobby, but I guess I can ask what they need to do when I'm assuming they'll be kicked. So Sire, he still hasn't figured out the puzzle to this game, I think, from the looks of it. And I don't know why he's running a number 1 helmet, but I guess he still thinks it's Season 6 or Season 7. But anyway, he's got 2 Bologna bullets right behind him, waiting to pounce. Hard on the brakes. And Saev, that was a pretty abysmal corner cut, I have to say. Abysmal, should say. Ultimate lap time. And look at the 2 Ducatis go. But I think Jack maybe having to ride a little bit defensive, just can't quite ride the natural lines. And the 2 Ducatis made contact. But the pair of them looking to stay on, and that's just going to let Sai just creep that 1/10 away. That's got 1 track limits warning left, so he's got to be careful to not exceed track limits, because otherwise he will be getting another long lap penalty. Or inside wide through the chicane. But Jack and Craig have got to be careful of track limits, and Jack's gone on the curb as well. So that's going to really ruin his drive with the wheel spin and a wheelie. And Craig's down the slipstream, and he's going to gain time. He's going to keep gaining and gaining and gaining on his teammate, but he's just not close. Or is he close enough? He's going to send up the inside. He's completely barged Jack out of the way. And unfortunately, that's going to mean Craig's going to get a long lap for that, due to a collection of warnings. Oh, he's getting really close to the back of the side there, as we are on now the final lap of the race. This battle for 4th place continues on for 1 final lap. Into turn 1 they go. Side's really wide. Craig able to take the tighter line. And he's up the inside. Craig trying to go up the inside of Sire, and the 2 collided as Craig went into Sire's path, and Craig unfortunately went down. His race was nearly ruined at the start. He got taken out. Sorry, not taken out. He collided with Sire. But luckily he remounted quite quickly. He was able to take advantage of all the chaos of the crashes. He got into 3rd, and then Nelson crashed behind VTR, and then it was a pretty simple task to pass VTR from that point. He's just got to take this last sector nice and safe, don't exceed any track limits, and the victory will be his. And VTR's gone completely off track, so I don't think it would matter anyway if Flat picks up a long lap out of this final corner. So that comes. Oh, Jack's gone down at the end there. Will Craig be able to get him? I think he will. So VTR, so Platt wins. VTR 2nd. Nelson in 3rd. Sire will finish 4th. Craig and Jack have both got long both got long laps. So Craig will get his normal top 5 finish, with Jack Berman finishing in 6th. And Joe not finishing in 7th.
With the riders who made the podium, but in the meantime, let's take a look at the final standings of this race.
Right, let's go. So we're just waiting on Sire and Jack and Platt, and then we can get going. Right, let's go.
The fans in the stands are waiting in anticipation. The riders are ready to take on the first turn. As soon as the lights go
So,
out, the race at the
two missing, but we'll
circuit
give him 7th place, so he doesn't miss out. But let's see who wins this. Well, we all know who's going to win, but who can get 2nd place? And we're off. And it's going to be Platt. It takes the whole shot into turn 1. VTR 2nd. Jack Bowman in 3rd. Nelson in 4th. Sign not getting. Oh, I think Platt struggled to deactivate the ride-out device, and he's gone the way of Craig. And I've got. Oh, he's. Oh, that's. Oh, Christ. And there wasn't really a lot he could do there because the ride-out device was still activated for him. And once again, it's the two Aprilias are in front of the two. They're making contact once more as they come out of turn 5. And look at Jack Berman now, but he's gone on the curb. He's going to pull alongside VTR to go into the chicane for the first time. VTR getting right to the edge of the curb, and lots of track limits being exceeded there, side by side for multiple riders. Jack Bowman's going to pull out to the right of the Aprilia VTR, and his former teammate gets in front, and he just about blocks in front of the path of the reigning champion. And VTR's forced to accept 3rd as now Sire is looking to maybe overtake his factory counterpart, and he gets right to the back of VTR, and Platt there is riding in 5th. We'll wait to see how long it takes for him to get through this pack, and Sire might be the first one. He's going to cut underneath him. And as long as he doesn't hit the exit curb, he should be fine. And Platt now moves into 4th place. Hold on the brakes into turn 1 for lap number 2. Ooh, Platt nearly hits the back of VTR. Platt can just take his time. He doesn't need to make any sort of rash decisions. We know he's got the general pace. He's got half a second plus. on everybody. And Jack Bourbon has had a massive front end wobble. And that demotes him down to 5th place. And Platt is going to go up the inside of VTR into turn 5 after a great exit through turn 4. And Platt is through to 2nd place. He's going to pull it all the way to the right to stop the slipstream effect. Heading towards turn 6. And he's held on to 2nd place nicely as Nelson seems to have run wide quite a bit through the chicane. And Sinow's looking to try and overtake VTR. He's got a decent exit out of the hairpin. He's now going to be in the slipstream. Can the RNF Aprilia overtake the factory? Yes, he can. He moves into 3rd place. And through the Malaysian goes. So VTR struggling at the moment. Down in 4th place. After a really strong 2nd place in the sprint race. So I seem to have made some form of step. I don't know if he's changed. I'm guessing he's changed the bike in some way. Because he seems to be able to activate the bike a lot better. And he's rounding a lot better. Because VTR up the inside into the final corner. So it gives him plenty of room. And VTR is through. At the front now, Nelson has got Platt behind him. Platt now is just going to look and try and figure out where he can pass him. I'm sure he'll probably just do the same thing he did to VTR and square him off out of turn 4. You can't do though. Nelson holds firm. And now to turn 5. Platt trying to look underneath, but Nelson's just saying no, but he's gone to the outside curb, and that's going to give Platt the run down the straight into the chicane. Platt's going to have a really tight hairpin. Nelson is going to try, he's going to make contact with the Repsol. He's going to go in the slipstream. Is Nelson going to be able to fight back into the fast right-hander? Is he going to send it? No, he's not. He's not able to. The pair of them run really far on the inside curb there to try and overtake and defend each other. And I think that's Platt safely through into the lead. As VTR has got back through on Sire. Some track limits going on here as Jack Bowman's already got a long lap penalty. As Nelson has found his way back through on Platt. I don't know what's happened there. I've missed that. But Nelson, I think there was definitely contact. I'm guessing Platt ran just a tiny bit, just the tiniest a bit wide. And Nelson said thank you very much and forced his way back through. But Nelson's back in front, so maybe this isn't over yet. Nelson, if you give him 1 nanometer of a gap, he will take it. He doesn't care what happens. He can get through, he'll get through. He's trying to look at how wide he's trying to make himself into turn 5. He's going to slam. He's going to try to slam the door shut on Platt, but unfortunately that's worked against him, and he's ran all the way wide, and that's lost him 8-9 tenths of a second, and that's Platt set free for sure now. And Platt's got a long lap penalty. This race just keeps getting stranger and stranger. So Platt with a long lap penalty now. Will he take it on his first go round, or will he try and extend the gap enough to hold on to the leaders? Jack Berman now looking up the inside of Sire. Into turn 9, he forces his way up the inside of the Malaysian and moves into 4th place. Into the hairpin side, looking up the inside, and he's going to... Oh, he's wide. Oh. He's wiped out his front tyre. I mean, he's already on 3 warnings, so I'll give him an extra warning because it's most likely he'll probably exceed track limits once again. So, Platt, let's see what he does. Is he going to make it interesting and do a long lap penalty in this go round, or is he going to try and extend the gap big enough so he can... let's see what he does. He's going to sit a long lap now, and he probably is going to actually just about hold on. He does, by the skin of his teeth. The long lap's just short enough for Platt to hold on to position. Just think if Nelson hadn't made that big mistake, well, just collided to turn 5 and that forced Nelson to run right off track, Nelson probably would be leading the race by now by a bit of a margin. And the two Ducatis once again are fighting for the final 2 places. And Craig pulls up alongside. Oh, contact between the pair again for this turn. Actually, I don't think they collided together. I think I can't remember which one. Craig completely batted off. Oh yeah, Craig batted off Jack, I think. Here comes Craig up the inside of Jack into the final corner, holding the world's tightest line. Who's going to get a better run? I think it's going to be Jack here. But Craig's just squeezing ever so slightly Jack onto the curb. He's going to force him wide. And that is 5th place for Craig. But can Jack fight back? Craig fighting back from us have been caught up in Platt's ride-out device issue. He's the Cross-Aurora, with Platt being Marquez from Aragon last year. Jack Bowman goes up the inside of Craig into turn 4. It's a very, very harsh move. Sort of don't want to give him a warning, but sort of do at the same time. But he's already got a long lap penalty. Oh, and there you go. Sai gets his long lap penalty for wiping out Jack. So Platt 1.7 seconds out in the lead. Nelson in 2nd, VTR 3rd. Sai will have to take a long lap in the next 3 laps. Is in 4th. And Jack Bowman fights back at Craig at turn 9 and retakes 5th place. Hold on the brakes, round the outside goes Craig at the half. He's going to cut underneath his teammate. You can hear the rev limiters going off. And Jack Bowman's going long. Oh my god! Contact between the pair once more. These guys can't. These guys are probably made of magnets. And here comes Craig. He's going to send up the inside into turn 1, and he's forces Jack Bowman to sit up, just like Jack forced him to set up a lap ago. And Craig is now into 5th. And he probably will hold on to it because of Jack's long lap. Now we look at Sire. Will Sire take the long lap first time round? Yes, he will. He takes it very cautiously, and he's going to form in 5th. He's going to be in this Ducati sandwich. Into the chicane. Oh, that is I have no words on what happened. I don't know if that's a high side or what, but Craig's gone down. Jack Bowman takes 4th place, and he takes a very early apex. Flipping heck, and he's going to run wide, and Si's surely going to get the better exit. But look at Jack, flip it. They'll be really. All these guys have been so aggressive with each other. They're just riding into the side of each other. Wow. They just need to calm it down a little bit. And Jack's let Sire back through, which is fair enough. Oh, he's at the curb and he's just about held it. And now into turn 3. Whoa, and Jack gets all crossed up in the braking zone. He's trying to keep an eye on the gap between Vito and Nelson, 1.3 seconds. I have a feeling it's just sticking to that, the two of them just having pretty much identical pace. It's clear that to me, it's clear that Craig's actually faster than these pair, but just the fact they're being so aggressive, he just simply can't escape them. I think Craig can definitely get 4th place, and he's going to because of Jack's long laps. Into the hairpin. Into the final corner. Nine of 3 laps they are on now. 3 laps, 13 laps. 5 laps to go. I'm reading things wrong. 3.8 seconds in the lead from Nelson, who's 1.4 seconds in the VTR. So that gap is basically probably just yo-yoing between 0.2 to 4. He's going to take a big mistake from Nelson for VTL to be able to fight for 2nd place. The record, and Jack just struggling with some spinning now. I think the rear tyre is starting to go as Craig, they're running really wide through turn 5. And Jack Berman now only half a second away from the Aprilia. So taking a lot of entry speed there, and he gets it stopped. Harder on the brakes into the hairpin. Jack definitely seems more confident on the entries to corners because I just can't quite get the nose in to get the apex. Four to go. Can Jack make his move? Onside. Jack has now got 6 seconds worth of penalties, which will equate to 12 unless there's a reason why he doesn't have to. He's got another long lap penalty. So unless he has a reason why he hasn't taken these long lap penalties, he's going to be in dead last. And now he's going to be looking for a way through at this straight here for about turn 6, and even more track limits being exceeded here. Jack going to pull to the right, interestingly enough. And tyre just about hold firm. But Jack is going to take this corner really wide. No, he's not. He's going to rush the corner. He's gone down. And that throws Craig up to. I don't know what Jack was doing there. He just had to take that corner nice and calm, getting the slipstream and passing up the inside into the following corner. So say once again free from the attack of a Ducati, and he's now got a 2-second lead over Craig. If Craig can just stop making mistakes, you should be able to catch tyre. But he is one warning away from a long lap. So nightmare going on. But what is a nightmare? Another nightmare going on is Nelson, because the gap between him and VTL had come down to 6 tenths there, but that VTL just made a small mistake, and he is now 1 second behind his teammates. So let's see what happens between these two. Who's got the better late race pace? These two fighting for 2nd in the championship, along with Craig. But Craig having a bit of a stinker right now. So Nelson had a couple of bad rounds where he's failed to make the podium, but he has finished very strong 3rd, 2nd places. It definitely seems that VTR is the quicker rider at this current moment. But these two have been fighting hard in the sprint and nearly parts of this race. That's really got this race won unless he has major problems. Six tenths the gap, and Craig's closed side down by 1 second. So I'll have to keep an eye on that to see who will be closest first to make a move. Into the hairpin. Vettel taking a lot of entry curb. Around the final corner. It's now the penultimate lap of the race. We're going to quickly go back to Sire and Craig. It looks like Craig is about to possibly make a move on Sire. As Sire runs hard into turn 1, he's completely missed the entrance rate. We've seen that he's struggling to get the Aprilia turned at the early point of the corner. And the pair of them on full warning, so they can't exceed track limits. And Craig's going to go up the inside of Sire through turn 3, but Sire's got the inside for turn 4. Can Craig use the Ducati power to hold it round the outside into turn 5, and Sire's up the inside? But Craig's going to turn it underneath. And VTR's through on Nelson. Nelson's made a mistake, but where's VTR? I don't know what happened. I think VTR went straight on. And he's managed to escape a penalty, so Nelson's done his rejoin in a safe manner. As we go back, as you can see the guys in the background, but VTR is oh so close to the back of his teammate now. Can he find a way through? And Craig's gone through on Sire. So Craig finally, after 12 laps, finally gets through on the Aprilia, but no Sire's going to fight back if he can. Nelson makes a mistake on the exit of the penultimate corner, getting on the curb, but Vito's just not close enough to make an attack. So on to the final lap. Platt leads by 7.8 seconds. Nelson is second, VTR's third. Who's going to win the battle of the Aprilias? Last time they battled, Nelson ended up on the floor at the chicane. VTR's just got a lot more confidence on the front end, but the front, massive shake there from VTR. As we now go through the flip-flops of turn 2 and now 3. And now into turn 4, Nelson takes a really wide line, trying to cut it back just to try and use the rear tyre grip, if they have any left. Into turn 5, Vito taking it very hot, losing a lot of drive in the exit, and that might be it. Into the chicane. Nelson's one warning away from a long lap penalty. He's got to take this last half a lap extremely careful. He does not want to pick in a long lap at this stage and lose out on second place, vital championship points. But I think it's going to be enough. As Jack Berman looks to try and close in on Sire. VTR just don't think it's close enough. Platt rounds the final corner, and he is going to win his 10th race in succession. Nelson holds firm in second place, with VTR, who will finish in third. Craig will finish fourth, and Jack Berman's taken Sire right at the end, but he has got so many long lap penalties, it's ridiculous. So Sire will actually finish fifth.
In a moment, we'll go live to Parc Fermé for interviews with
so Platt wins ahead of Nelson in second, VTR third, Craig fourth, Sire fifth, and Jack in sixth. So we'll quickly get on to the interviews. So first we will go with VTR. VTR, a second place in the sprint and a third place in the main race. Quite a big battle there with your teammate in both races. How did you find the sprint and the longer race? Yep. Yeah, well done. So we'll then move on to the second place man in the feature race there. So Nelson, in the sprint race, it was going well with you and your team at VTR. You're 1 and 2, and unfortunately, VTR just parked it at turn 7. I think to your surprise, and you just tapped the rear and went down. And then we rounded to third in this race. You tried your best, but you just couldn't quite. You powered Platt Bay for a lap, but you just a little bit of bad timing and sort of things just let you lose that touch, and you had to settle for second, and you held off VTR as well at the end there. So pretty action-packed race for you, I'd say.
Yeah, no. First of all, I want to say congrats to my teammate. 2 double podiums is great for the team, great for the spirits within the box as well. So congrats to VTR, also to Platt for winning another masterclass race here. But yeah, no, in the sprint race, I already, I saw VTR struggle a little bit in the early stages, so I tried to pounce early on, and I did. We had a tough battle, a bit aggressive with each other, but that's what we both like. It went clean, and I wasn't mad about the crash. I saw it coming. I know he was gonna try to pass me in there, but unfortunately I tried to do a cutback, and I just miscalculated it a little bit. Hit the rear tire and went down. So that's just all on me. But still P3, very good recovery, and brought it home. But the main race, it was just game plan the same, trying to not lose touch with VTR, because I thought this time he was going to be a bit more consistent from the start. So I bounced early on once again and tried to maintain it, and had my few shots against Platt, but we all know that's not going to last a long time. So I just tried my best, and P2 is the best I could do.
Yeah, congratulations. I don't know how your championship's looking, but I'd imagine you're going to be in the top 3 anyway. Probably second, I'd imagine.
Second, yeah, I think second.
Yeah. So good job.
Yep,
and then on to the winner, the double winner once again. That's now 10 races in succession. But lap 1 didn't seem to be your lucky thing today. Sprint race, you had a collision with Sire. In the longer race, I believe your ride device didn't deactivate, and unfortunately because of that, Craig met you at the wrong point and sort of got Quartararo Marquez from last year. But despite that, you managed to get through the pack, and once you got to the lead and had a couple of corners to yourself, you're able to romp away and win in dominant fashion like usual. Yeah, so another win, congratulations, and I'm pretty sure the championship will be yours in a round or so's time. So there we have it, round number 8, 4 to go. 5 races to go. 4 long races, 1 sprint, and yeah, we'll see you guys. Well, I won't be doing it next week, but somebody will, and we'll see you there. Goodbye.